Hello, I'm Gil Zilkha. Welcome to my channel. This is my series entitled Essential Classical Music, where we look at the best recordings of the major classical music works. This video is taken from my larger video entitled Best Recordings of Orchestral Works, where I look at basically all orchestral music that is not including the symphonies or the concertos. So if you like this video, I hope you'll take the time to view that one as well. Just know that it is divided into chapters, so you don't have to watch the entire thing at one sitting. You can just very easily click on whichever work that you're curious about. So I hope you enjoy it. Now we come to one of my absolute favorite orchestral pieces of all time that I to this day I still never get tired of. Rimsky-Korsakov's Scheherazade. You want to talk about evocative. This is the story of Scheherazade, who, so you had this king who would marry, and then when he was tired of his wife, he would dispense with her and then move on to the next one. And so you had Scheherazade, who was the clever one, who figured out how to keep him intrigued by appealing to his mind and telling him a new story for 1001 nights. So that's the old Arabian legend. And this piece tells the story of Scheherazade, and it's just wonderfully colorful, just great melodies. It's a great orchestral showpiece. And my top choice for this one is an early. I think it's digital. Actually, it may not quite be digital, but it's close enough. It's 1979. It's Kirill Kondrashin and the Concertgebouw. Wonderfully recorded, great warmth and power, and the interpretation is just spot on. Kondrashin just paces everything wonderfully, and then you have, for my money, the best portrayal of Scheherazade. She's portrayed by a solo violin. You have Hermann Krebers, the concertmaster of the Concertgebouw, just sounding beautiful. And then the final movement is real exciting and powerful. So this is an old standard that I still stick by as the first Scheherazade to get. Now, a newer recording that is also very recommendable is this one with Valery Gergiev and the Kirov Orchestra from 2002. This one is really exciting, wonderfully recorded, and really passionate. Gergiev is real assertive and dramatic. You might find it a little bit, it depends how you want your Scheherazade. He's definitely more on the assertive side. And I think it really works. It just really packs a punch. So for me, I'm not content with just one Scheherazade, and this is definitely one to add to the list. As is this old classic from Thomas Beecham. This is with the Royal Philharmonic, 1957. Sound is pretty good stereo. It's not as good as the Kondrashin and Gergiev, but it's pretty good. And the thing is, Beecham just had this magic touch about him. It's not the most dramatic Scheherazade, maybe the most powerful, the most immaculately played, but he's just had this. Scheherazade. It's all about creating that sort of dreamscape, that magical, evocative, almost kind of sensual spirit, and Beecham just had that magic touch about him that really brings the music home that way. So I think this one still remains today one of the top choices for a Scheherazade. Now, another famous version from olden times, not that old, I should say, but from 1964, in pretty good stereo, is this one with Leopold Stokowski, who recorded it several times. This is a piece he was well known for. In fact, he has one from 1927 with the Philadelphia Orchestra, which is fairly noisy. It's got a lot of hiss to it, but that's one of my favorite ones. He did wonderful things with the Philadelphia Orchestra back then. But I think for your first Stokowski Scheherazade, this one from 1964 with the London Symphony is really the first one to seek out. It's really, really good sound quality. And Stokowski, like Gergiev, was more on the assertive side. Really passionate and dramatic. Again, some people may think it's too much personality for them. It depends how you want to hear the piece. There are lots of interpretations that all have their different qualities, and definitely for Stokowski, it's that sort of showmanship, I would say, of really milking all the drama and passion of the piece, which is something that comes natural with a work like Scheherazade. Now, another recording from the same time period, 1968, also with the London Symphony, that I highly recommend is this one from Andrei Previn. This one actually is more on the sort of the, a little bit more on the gentle side, I would say, comparatively. I mean, it's still powerful, it's still dramatic, but it's a little bit on the slower side, and I think it really works. That sort of magical kind of evocative feeling. You definitely get that with Previn, as well as real powerful climaxes. So that to me is also still a top choice. Now, another vintage recording that I think should still be remembered today, and really is one of the top Scheherazades, is this one, both in terms of the playing and the Everest sound quality. This is from 1959. This is with Sir Eugene Goossens and the London Symphony. And this is just a great Scheherazade. Goossens, he's not like Stokowski. He doesn't come out the gate being as dramatic as all get all, but it's a very natural interpretation that builds slowly and has a very exciting finale. But there's a naturalness to it, and a beauty, and the sound, it gives it this clarity that it really deserves to be remembered as one of the top Scheherazades. For me, it's just as good as any out there in terms of your first Scheherazade, even with the older sound quality, because it sounds great in this Everest sound. Okay, a couple more I have to mention. One is, you may be surprised I haven't mentioned it yet, because it's arguably the most famous one out there, is Reiner with the Chicago Symphony. Now, they're one of those living stereo recordings, demonstration quality. This is from 1960, so they were really on a roll by then. And I will say this, it is a absolutely famous recording, and it's brilliant and impressive, and it really knocks your socks off. It's a little bit more on the faster, assertive side. Personally, for me, the problem I have with this recording, and this is just me, it's not shared by a lot of people, I'm more impressed by it than I am moved. I feel like those kind of magical, sensuous qualities that I hear with, say, Beecham, for example, I feel a little bit colder when I listen to this recording. And like I said, Reiner was one who tended to he wasn't a very sentimental conductor. He kind of played it straight. And for me, personally, Scheherazade needs a little bit more. It's a little bit on the stiff side. Yet at the same time, you can't deny the brilliance and the orchestral virtuosity and the power. It's very impressive. So it still deserves its place as a great Scheherazade. It's just, for me, it would not be my only recording. Now, one that's a little bit newer, from 1990. Of course, 1990 is now, over 3 decades ago, but to people of my generation, it still feels new. This one is with the London Symphony, and this is with Charles Mackerras. And this one, as you expect with Mackerras, it's got great clarity. It's a little bit more on the assertive, faster side. It's got wonderful brass playing. The orchestra sounds fantastic here. It's crystal clear, and it's really, really beautiful. I would say on this one too, it's a little bit stiff for me, a little bit. It's not as passionate and sensuous as someone like, like Stokowski, for example. But again, there's more than one way to do it, and it's such a beautiful score that hearing it like this is still worth something, and that you get this wonderful telarc sound as well. So that's Macaris, and then I have one more. This is a mono recording, but it's a fairly good sounding mono. This is with the Philharmonia and Issei Dubrovin. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm not exactly sure. Now this one is very passionate. This is very red-blooded, dramatic. They just play their hearts out. Some people may actually think it's a little too over the top, but it's for me still a Scheherazade worth keeping around, just for the passion involved, and the wonderful playing. A very dramatic version, even though it's a mono, but again, pretty good mono. Okay, so that's Rimsky-Korsakov. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, I hope you'll also take time to click the like and subscribe buttons. And with that, I want to wish you all a great day and happy listening.